the tea, like the tea. So I just bought my house. We just bought our house, and we were looking in Walmart for some things that we needed, and we moved in our house around June, and we was in Walmart. I would say this is probably around like August, September time frame. So let me tell you, okay. It starts off cool, and then it gets like juicy. So we about to get into the tea. All right. It's so weird, like recording after like so long, but we just gonna get into it. So y'all, September time frame. So we brought the dogs. We had the dogs with us. They were like probably like 4 or 5 months. We didn't think nothing of it. We were just like, okay, let's bring the dogs. We don't feel like going back to the house. Going to the house. Then once I get home, like I'm the type of person, I don't know about y'all, but I'm the type of person like once I get home, I'm not coming back outside. So that's how we are. Oh my gosh, I'm just like so ready to tell y'all. Like, but I'm trying to like tell y'all, build it up instead of just going straight to the point. So we had the dogs. We're looking through Walmart, seeing things that we needed, and everyone just kept coming up to us like, "Oh, your dogs are so cute. Oh, they're so. Can I touch them? Blah blah blah." So, I'm like, okay, I don't care. So they were playing with our dogs and everything, and this one employee came up to us and was like, "Oh, is those dogs service dogs?" We were like, "No, they're not service dogs." And it was like, "Okay, well, they're gonna have to leave. They caused too much commotion and everything." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm looking for Cameron, my husband, to tell him like, "All right, we gotta go because they're kicking us out of Walmart." So I finally find him another aisle, and I tell him like, "Oh, come on, we gotta go. They're kicking us out. They're kicking us out." And he's like, "Okay, whatever, let's go." And this one employee, which is the roommate, we're gonna name her Melody, y'all. So Melody came up to us and was like, "Oh, I heard you said that you were, getting kicked out. I'm moving out of my parents, or I'm getting kicked out of my parents' house because they're going to another state. They're moving out. They're moving away and everything. And I've been looking for apartments and looking for roommates and everything." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. That's not the case. We just got kicked out of. We're getting kicked out of Walmart. We're not getting kicked out of our house. But we were looking for a roommate as well." I was like, and we started having a conversation, kikiing or whatever. Because I'm like, where do I find a roommate? Do I look on Craigslist? Do I post on Facebook who needs a room? Because like everyone's like, "Oh, don't move in with like your family member or like someone you're close to because y'all fall out or something like that." Then it's just an issue, like everyone says. So I'm like, all right, I'll pick somebody I don't know, because I'm like, we needed help. We didn't really need help, but it was a plus. Like, okay, if three people bring in income, we can be able to spend money on other things versus just paying bills,
Fast
paying
forward.
bills. So what is this? She came like August, September. I would say around October. So around October, she one incident that happened. She was cooking mashed potatoes. I remember she was cooking mashed potatoes, y'all, and cooking out the pot, whatever. She doesn't have her own pots and pans and stuff like that. So I don't mind if she uses mine as long as you wash it out. It's not a big deal to me. So she made her mashed potatoes. We're all sitting on the couch watching TV in the living room. And she took the pot of her mashed potatoes and put it on the floor. So I'm looking like, why would she put her pot? Why would she put her pot on the floor? Y'all, she had her dog licking out of my pot on on the floor, and I asked her, I'm like, "Is your dog licking out of my pot?" Because I'm like, maybe I'm being pranked right now. So whole time I asked her, "Is your dog licking out my pot?" She said, "Yeah. What's the issue or whatever?" Like she didn't. She just like still to this day, I don't think she understands like why I did not want her dog licking out of my pot. So her dog's looking at my pot, and I'm asking her, I'm like, "I don't want your dog looking at my pot. Like, why do you have your dog licking out of my pot?" And then she's like, "What's the big deal?" Then she starts raising her voice and everything. And I'm the type of person, like, I don't really care. You can say whatever you want, but you're not about to touch me. So, and it's like, why am I arguing back and forth with you and you in my house? Like I can kick your ass out today. So yeah. So then she's like, "Oh, if it's such a big issue, I don't understand because you use this. If you don't trust what she said, if you don't trust the dish soap that you clean with, then why are you using it? And if it's not efficient, then I don't understand. Blah 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 blah. If your dish soap doesn't clean it, then I don't understand what the issue is. If you trust the dish. She just kept mentioning trusting the dish soap and all of this stuff, and I'm like, it doesn't matter about the dish soap. What matters is the fact that you have your dog licking out of my pot that I eat, cook my food in and everything like that. And first of all, it's my pot. If you're using someone else's stuff, you should one have some common sense. I don't know what like I thought it was common, but I guess common sense is not common for everybody, and that's on period. Like I guess common sense is not common for everybody. So she started going off, and then she's like, "Well, I'll just buy you a new freaking pot." And she took her dog and went and walked down the hallway or whatever. So I'm like, "Yep, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna buy me a new pot." Like, why am I sitting here arguing with you over a freaking pot? Like, I just don't get it at all. So she walked her happy self to Walmart and got me a new pot, some type of fuzzy one. Walked herself to Walmart and got me a new pot, and then she came back in the house and she dropped the pot on the counter and was like, "Here's your new freaking pot, and here's the receipt to go with it, just in case you have a problem with this pot." And I'm like, okay. Then I hear her. She goes in her room. Melody goes in her room, and I literally hear her on the phone with whoever she's on the phone with, just talking about me, and I'm like, ooh, let me breathe. I'm like, one is like, I'm looking at it from two sides because I'm like, one is her privacy. She can't talk on the phone, and then what can she do? Like, it's her on the phone. She not talking to me directly. Then if it's not direct, what they say, if it's not direct, then it's not respected. Or why is it that I'm smelling your room from like, as soon as I walk in my house, I smell the aroma of your freaking room. Like, one, that is like, as a human, like, why, if someone can smell something from outside, what does that tell you? How can you not smell it from inside and you're the one sitting in the freaking room? So I like, people come over and they're like, "What does that smell? What does that smell?" And I'm like, I would clean my house up. When I clean. And what does she do? Every time I clean, what do I see? Like, stuff from her room and her tissues and whatever the case is, tracked in the freaking hallway. And I'm like, I literally just swept this. Why is stuff flying out of your freaking room? Time you cleaned up, and she was like, "Why?" And I'm like, because I can smell your room from outside. Like, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. So I'm like, why is it that I smell your room from, like, I can smell it, like it smells? And she was like, "Oh, maybe I'll just clean it. I just need help cleaning because, like, I need to clean when someone's on the phone with me because I can't just clean by myself." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah, maybe if you help me." And I'm like, I'm not about to help you clean your room in a mess that has nothing to do with me. That's your corner. That's your space. Like, and it's just, it got to the point where it was like, say like she would go to work or something and she'll leave her room door open. It's like, you have to literally walk like this because it stinks so bad. And I told her, I'm like, you need to clean this up. Like, I cannot have this in my house. I don't want roaches or ants or mice or whatever in my house because they can smell your freaking stank room. So I remember, when was this? When like, around through October through December, when she was not working or whatever, and I just came home from work. I think it was probably like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and I just came home from work, and as soon as I got through the door, as I got through the door, y'all, she asked me, "Hey, can you take me to Walmart? I need to get some groceries." And I'm like, "No, I can't take you to Walmart. Like, I just got home. Like, I don't feel like going back in my car and driving around there. Like, you can just walk or take a Uber. Why don't you take a Uber?" Because I don't feel like, I'm not obligated to do it, and I just don't, like, you just don't feel like doing something. Like, you just came home from work, you ready to lay down, you ready to watch your movies, take a shower, like, you just want to chill, eat, and yeah, I just didn't feel like it. So I told her, I was like, "No, I don't feel like it right now. Why don't you just take an Uber or something?" I didn't say it like rudely or anything like that. And she was like, "Why would I take a," Melody said, why would I take a Uber when you can just take when why would I pay for Uber when you can just drive me there? And I'm like, what you think I'm supposed to just drive you everywhere for free? Like Walmart is literally right around the corner. You can literally walk. It's literally a 10-minute walk. So she got pissed or whatever, and then she's like, well, I haven't eaten in 30 something hours, and I don't understand, like, you could just take me to Walmart, I'm starving, I haven't eaten 30 hours, blah blah. I'm like, and then she says, y'all have been at work all day, and I haven't had no one to take me to Walmart, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you do know there's DoorDash, there's Uber Eats, there's Postmates, there's so many different things for you to do, and the where we live at is so many stores around. So it's like you can literally get up and walk to the store, but till you sit here and wait until we get off work to take you somewhere. Like, like I just felt like you felt entitled, you felt obligated. Like, yeah, if I'm in the mood, I'll take you. Yeah, let's go here. If you hungry, I'll take you. Then like um 2 or 3 days later, me and Cameron went to where we go? We went to McDonald's, and we came back from McDonald's, and had the McDonald's bag, and she was like, "You guys went to McDonald's?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "You guys went to McDonald's, didn't tell me, and I'm in here hungry, and I don't blah, 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 and you guys should have told me." And I'm like, "What do you mean I should have told you I was going to? Who are you for me to report to? Like, it just." Y'all, she just was driving me freaking crazy, and I just ignored her, and I ate my McDonald's, and I continued about my day. So it was like the middle of December, yeah, because it was like right before Christmas, like probably like a week, a week and a half before Christmas, and she she was watching TV in the living room, and me and Cameron was in our room having a conversation, like trying to have a conversation. It was so loud that I couldn't even focus on what he was saying because I hear the TV so damn loud in the living room. So Cameron, of course, he's the type, he doesn't want to tell her. He wants me to go tell her. He'd be like, oh, go tell her. Go tell her to turn the music down. I'm like, oh my God. So me being me, I went out there and I was like, hey, can you cut the TV down? She was like, why? And I was like, what are you about to go to sleep? I'm trying to remember, y'all. She was like, what are you about to do? About to go to sleep or something? I'm like, no, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm trying to have a conversation. Like, what is the issue? And then she's talking about this is her, now you freak, well, curses though, but I'm trying not to curse no more. She was like, oh my God, this is like cracking on. She was like, why? No, she was like, now you understand what the freak I be talking about. I'm trying to, I can't talk. She was like, now you understand what the freak I be talking about. Y'all be having the TV so freaking loud, and y'all come in here and y'all are so loud, and I can never be in quiet, and it's always this, it's always something, and blah, 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 and like, oh, blah. She just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to argue with you. So I just unplugged my TV. And I was like, well, now you're not watching my TV. Now what you gonna do? And when I tell you, y'all, she got up through the TV remote, through the game controller, through all that stuff, went up to my kitchen and grabbed a knife and started cutting herself down my hallway. And I'm like at that moment, I was just like, what is going on? Like all I did was tell her to cut the TV down. And Cameron came out the room and heard her screaming and saying, F y'all, F this house, F this, F that. And she took the knife and threw the knife. But when I just seen her pick it up, and it just, all I heard was like, it hit something. I didn't hear where it went. So I asked her, I'm like, did you just throw a knife at me? And she was like, no. Like her whole demeanor changed. She was like, no. I didn't throw a knife at you. I threw it behind me. And I'm looking, and then she had the knife in the freaking wall. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, this is too much. This is too much for me. And she went in her room. All you hear is things being thrown and everything like that. And I'm like, Cameron, we need to get out of here, because if we stay here, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to be, we need to get out this house. I need some air. this girl is gonna drive me crazy, and it's not gonna be healthy with both of us in this house because I am not trying to go to jail. And we left. We went to one of my friends' houses in the next city over, so probably like 30, 45 minutes away. And she calls me, and then she's like, "Hey, I I overdosed, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm almost damn near an hour away, and I'm like, I'm gonna call the police, And she's like, "No, don't call the police, don't call the police." And I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And I'm like, "Okay," I just hung up the phone, as I just hung up the phone, and I'm like, "This is too much going on," and mental health is something that like I don't play with, because I'll get into that in a separate video. But mental health is something that you shouldn't play with. And yeah, so I called the police. The police came. They called me, told me that. So fast forward, she's in the facility and everything like that. And we're on our way back, and she texts me, and she's like, I don't even have messages. I just got a new phone. So she texted me, and she was like, "Oh, my aunt is over here, and she really likes Millie, which is my kitten, my cat, for $200." And I'm like, "Do you think?" And who comes to somebody's house and asks them, can they buy their pet? Like, come on now. Like, I was just so over her. Then she texts me saying, "Well, now that I'm gone, I cleaned the room out and everything, so everything is fine." So I'm like, "Okay, great." Then I asked her, "Can you leave my house key and leave my mail key in the house and go on about your business?" She's like, "I'm still getting mail here, so I'm not giving you your mail key back. And I paid for this house key, so I'm not giving you your house key back." So I'm like, first of all, why do you want a house key for a place that you don't even stay in, you don't reside in? Like, what is your purpose? Like, I honestly just feel like she was just trying so hard to get to get me to come there and slap her, like slap her silly. Got my locks changed, and I got the mail thing changed and everything. So, yes, now I am roommate free, y'all. And it feels so good. It feels so good to be able to walk around your house again and wear whatever you want to wear. And I can walk around my house with a bra on because I don't have to worry about, everybody else and whoever she has over. And I'm like, I have my sanity back. And I'm like, I'm so happy that I started 2021 on a fresh, clean slate. Is my crazy story on my roommate from hell. Thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to link my Instagram, my Snapchat down below. And I got some good videos coming up for y'all. I don't know if I mentioned this, but my sister-in-law got me this planner. So it's literally, I have to write everything in here, y'all. Like, it is blank. So I got to put some things in here, jot some notes down. I want to give y'all some army videos, some cooking videos. I'm already going to school for culinary right now because I just love to cook. And yeah, I have so many more things in store for y'all. And thank y'all so much for watching and listening to my rants.